Hi, this is Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and today I'm going to share with you my setup for my October planner using the Cocoa Daisy planner kits and a few items from our memory keeping kits. And I'm just going to, I no longer really do the unboxing, go through the unboxing of the kits with these anymore because so many of our customers do great unboxing videos, as well as our design team does some great unboxing videos. So I'm trying to kind of keep the videos a little smaller so they're a little more user-friendly for you, and then just kind of go through how I set up my planner. Some of it is kind of the same as what I do every month, but I've just found a system that really works for me. But then there's a few other little new things that I've got for you this month too. So I'll start out, I'll let you know, and I keep forgetting to do this, so I want to make sure I did it this month, what planner I'm using. I'm using a Vanderspec, and these are custom planners that you order. And this is my first one, and I absolutely love it. It's just so beautiful. And I knew kind of the colors that I wanted coming up for the October kit. And I had an old brown planner, but it was a zip around one, and I love it, but I like to be able to have a lot of stuff kind of that's sticking out the top and the sides and stuff. So I had this one made, and what I really like about the Vanderspecs is you can pick the pocket orientation you want, and you can pick the interior leather color as well as the outside, and you can pick your ring size. And I went with the larger ring size, which I just absolutely love. So I'm really, really happy with how this planner turned out. There's a bunch of kind of smaller pockets that I picked out for mine. And what I did this month is kind of really filled it up with a bunch of different clips and different items. I put my notepad in the front this month. And the other thing that I did when I designed this planner, because it is custom, I requested 2 pen loops, which I really like. And so I made a few clips out of the leaf die cuts, and I'll go through a bunch of the other clips I made in a minute too. But one of the things that when you tuck things in the pockets, sometimes you feel like it'll move all over and you can't get them to stay where you want. What I actually did, once I have it set how I want, I took a couple little glue dots and I kind of adhered this all together. So it's all adhered to the little notepad here, and then it kind of stays in place how I want it. So that turned out really nice. There's a little tag. One of the things that I'm going to mention a couple times in the memory keeping kits, we had a couple of tags, and I wanted to show a couple of ways to use those. So one of those is just kind of tucked in the front here. I have a little die cut that I added some foam tape to and kind of tucked that in. There's another clip right here, and I think that turned out really cute. And then, as usual, I always have an overlay of some sort, because I just like that it kind of protects the page from rubbing on anything lumpy and bumpy. And then this note card is actually from last year, and I just thought it was so pretty, so I brought that back out. I take 2 sets of 6 whole pages because I like to do different things and try and come up with ideas for you. So I always have 2 of them. And so what I did is I cover up the month or the calendar with some pattern paper and turn that into an actual divider page. And then I have my actual calendar page. I've got a piece of heavy acetate here that I've cut, and I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. I might sandwich a couple pictures together on that, might be pretty. I might use it as kind of a dashboard. I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. And then the weekly stripe pages, one of the things that I did for mine, and I've shown this before, kind of depends on the theme, but if you go through your stash of punches, you can a lot of times find simple punches that will work with the theme of the kit. And so with all of the leaves, I found these punches in my stash, and I took some of the pattern paper and I pre-punched just a bunch of the leaves out, and so you'll see them scattered throughout. So that was just kind of a fun little way to make some extra die cuts and add a little texture to my pages. And the only other thing that I added to these pages is a little bit of stamping and a few stickers. These were the letter stickers from one of the planner add-on kit stickers. So you can see where I punched those, and it's just kind of adds a little bit. I like that. Some alpha stickers. So super easy. I didn't put a lot of decoration on there because you do want to have room to write. And then I've shown this for many months now. I use this. This is my little meal plan, and that's just a personal size dashboard with a tab, and then we have our little tab stickers that fit in those, and we have one that says meal plan. I always attach just a few of the little notepads, so those are for that's my grocery list. And then what I did, this is the personal size pages. So I'll usually grab a set of those, or if we have a misprint or something like that, like these, you can actually see we're 6 hole, and I just kind of accommodated them to fit in here. Doesn't bother me that there's a hole. It's fine. I just, they're just being used for meal plan. I did stamp each one with kind of a fun stamp. And then one thing I wanted to mention about any of your pages, that if you, let's say you don't really use the weekly stripe pages, or you don't use the week on 2 pages, one of the things that you can do, and I've talked about this before, is recycle the artwork, is use it for other things. So even like this page, this was the meal plan for this week. So what I did though is I was using it to clean off some stamps, and then I cut out the artwork from the back because I can use that then as a die cut. So rather than just take that and throw that away, use those pieces of artwork, or if they're pages that you don't even think you're going to use, look at them and see if there's some artwork that you can cut out. Now I can use this. I can turn that into a clip topper. I could turn that into just a die cut to decorate a page. So there's a number of things you can do. So kind of think of a way to upcycle or recycle some of those bits and pieces of pages that you've already used or that you don't plan on using. So then I'm just going to show you my weekly pages, my week on 2 pages. And again, I used some of the cute little punches, stickers, alphas, and I used the number stickers from the planner one of the stickers from the planner add-on. Some more stamps, and then I always like to, this was from a stamp set that I think this was last year, was what this one was from when we had the little forest friends. And then what I always like to do is just kind of continue across the page or go off the page with the stamping. I think it makes it kind of interesting. And you can see I did that here and here. I just kind of went off the page a little bit. Some more of those punched leaves. So I didn't do a whole lot, just put in a little bit in there so it's all ready to go. All I've got to do is write in my daily notes. And then the transparency that we had for October was this beautiful dragonfly. And so I put him right here. And then of course I had to make a shaker bookmark. And we had this cute custom set. There's a couple of little maple leaves in here too, and these are from Spiegel Mom scraps. And we had this in the main memory keeping scrapbooking kit. And so I made a little shaker card, and this time I just kind of experimented. I took some of our exclusive Cocoa Daisy paper that was in the memory keeping kit, the 12 by 12 kit. And normally when I make the shaker cards, it was an experiment, so bear with me. I wanted to see how badly the little sequins would fall through the holes if I didn't have that extra piece of transparency or pocket page that I punched the holes through. I wanted to see how it would work if I punched the holes directly through. and they do fall out a little bit. It's not bad if you keep it in your planner because then the rings are in there and it keeps them from falling out. So I think next time if I want to do it this way, what I'll probably do is just sew a stitch right along here so that that keeps all of the sequins on that side. So it was just a little experiment. I tried. But, and so some of the sequins are coming to the back, but that's fine too. But I do find that if I keep it in here, then they don't fall out as many. And then, so just some more stamping on there. And then this little fox, and I'm going to show you him in a minute, he was on one of our pattern papers as well. Let's see if I can get that. And I colored him in with chalk, so I'll show you that in a moment. And then I took one of the free printables and just added some alpha stickers. And this is just kind of my goals for October, some stuff that I want to get done this month. I loved the stamp that was in the planner add-on. It has all of these great little underlines that you can use, and so I just kind of stamped those a little bit there. So that was a fun page. So that's my little, oh, I'm sorry, that's not the free printable. That's coming up. I'll show you that. And this is the other side of the monthly page. I'm getting myself confused, sorry. So here's the monthly spread, and again, I stamped some of those leaves kind of going off. I used some die cuts, and then I stamped some things on here. And I've talked about this before, where if I've got where you want to block off, like say a vacation, or for me it's shipping each month, sometimes if I know it's going to be a busier month, I won't use alpha stickers for that. I'll actually stamp those with an alpha set in kind of a lighter color so you can write right over it. And then one of the things that we've started doing is each month I try to pick a couple of ink colors that go with the kit and then offer those. So it's kind of a no-brainer. You know that they'll match and then they'll work with that month's inserts. And the stamp set that was part of the October kit had these little kind of texture stamps, which I thought would be a lot of fun. So you can see where I've used those with a couple of the different colors and just kind of layered them because they're easy to write over, and they're just kind of, they add this kind of fun texture. So I used those in a couple spots on here as well. And then the plan ahead, this is where I did the free printable. And what I wanted to do, this is kind of a work in progress. I thought I need to try and organize my day even more. So obviously there's no way that this is going to be stuck to every day. It's just kind of a reference to try and aspire to and try to get in the habit of some of these things. So this is kind of a daily schedule that I fed the printable through the printer again so that what I typed out would print out right on there. So this is my little page that I'm just going to keep referencing to try and build this habit of these times for certain activities each day. And one of the things I wanted to mention is someone on our Planner Fans Facebook page mentioned that this beginning page of the insert, they don't know what to do with, because obviously if you want to use this as a two-page spread for your first day of the month, you have this kind of page hanging out. One of the things you could do is, as I did here, instead of adhering this to a piece of pattern paper, you could simply print out this printable. It could be a goals page, it could be a schedule page, it could be a note page, it could be a gratitude page, lots of different things that you could use that for, and you could adhere that right on there. So it's kind of like an introductory page to your dailies, and then you're not seeing that page just kind of hanging out there. If that's something that bothers you or you want to utilize a little better, that would be a good way to do that, is to just stick that right down there. I wanted this kind of freestanding so I could move it from planner to planner for a while. So I did not adhere mine, but that would be a great way to do that. Another thing you could do is take one of those pages again, like I mentioned before, that maybe you don't normally use, or you've already used part of it. Like for instance, the week on 2 pages, you could totally just adhere one of these right on the front of that and then cover it up. And so you don't even have to go through the process of printing out the free printables. Just use one of your extra pages, adhere it together, and you've got kind of a little cover page. So there's a lot of different things that you could do to just kind of cover that page up. And then we're going to go to my pocket page. I made another pocket page this month. I did not do the shaker because I did the shaker bookmark. So I just made this cute little pocket page, and I like having it a little bit smaller. I just like the layers and being able to see other pages peek out. And it's just simply some pattern papers, and I just sewed them together to make the pocket and added a few little die cuts, added the little scalloped edge. And then on this side, so I keep my stickers in there, so they're real handy. And then on this side, what I did is I cut out, I had more of the, get a bigger piece. I had more of the Cocoa Daisy 12 by 12 memory keeping paper. And I loved these leaves. You're gonna see where I did this a couple times, where I cut them out. What I did is I cut a couple of them out. I put one behind the pocket, and then I put a few kind of in a pretty little cluster on top. So I like the dimension that that has. And then I just kind of tucked some extra note cards in there, which I might end up punching and adding to some of my pages. So that's my little pocket. And then my daily pages, I've started, I always take one of the little, I think they call that a bulldog clip. And our little round puffy stickers will fit right in the tops of those. And so I glue them in just with a little extra adhesive and put them on there. But I've started kind of tucking in, there's a couple pictures of my sweetie. There's a little extra piece of notepad if I need to make an extra list. And then this month we had this fun wooden bookmark that came with the kit. And the back side I covered up with that beautiful paper again. I just added a little word sticker, a little tab sticker on here. And this is a set of Post-its that I've had forever, and so once in a while I'll use it and then I'll write out what the month is, so it's just a nice quick reference every day to have. So that's my bookmark. So I covered that side. Then this is one of the tags that I was talking about. So I took the string off, and I thought it would be fun to have a little home for some of the Post-its. So what I did is I cut out some more of those leaves again, and just kind of placed them on there. I used a little word sticker, a little phrase sticker, cute little clip. And then on the back is where I can keep some of my Post-it notes. It's not a lot, so that there's not a lot of bulk, but just a few in case I need them. And then, so that just kind of tucks in there nice. And then of course my daily pages. And then I'll show you a few of my dashboards, and I used all of the from the dashboard set. I used all of these. There's some planner paper, the pattern paper from the planner kit on the back of this one. That's the dashboard, and then these are, I do this every month as well. It's just 2 of the there's six of each dashboard in the A5 size and the personal size, and I make little subdividers using the personal size. And I need 3 subdividers, which works out perfect, so I just sandwich 2 of them together. So I do that. And then another dashboard. And this was some of the Cocoa Daisy paper from the 12 by 12 memory keeping kit. I loved this part of it, so I cut it out so that that part of it would show up. And then another one. They're so pretty. And this was just a paper from the, I think that was in the main scrapbooking memory keeping 12 by 12 kit as well. So here's another bookmark that I made, and this was one of them that I wanted to show you how to color in the little foxy guy. So this paper was also a CD exclusive paper, and I made the bookmark. These are stamps, and that's something else that I wanted to mention. So I'll start out with the fox. So what I did is I cut out the bookmark, and then I went back and I cut out from some extra paper, I cut out a couple of the little foxes. And then what I did is I used my handy dandy chalk again. So I just used some of the chalk with a Q-tip. So super simple. And I just kind of shaded him in. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see if that focuses. So I shaded him in a little bit just to kind of make him stand out. And then I also used a little bit of foam adhesive behind him just so he's raised up a little. I did one on the front and then I did one on the back. So it just kind of stands out, and it was really fun to kind of just color him in. And the other thing I wanted to mention, when you have a pattern, like for instance, this one is real busy at the top here, but I wanted to stamp a word there at the top of my tab. And I didn't want it to stick out a whole lot. So what I did is I had some of this extra paper. So if you need to stamp a word or something like that that you're going to cut out, stamp it in an open area of that same paper and then cut it out and lay it over top, because it will go perfectly, but it also is an open area so your words don't get lost. So I did that for both words at the tab on the top there. So I stamped today's goal with I had just kind of a circle stamp. I layered those on an open space in some leftover of this exact paper, and then I put it on there. I did the same thing with this one. That was an arrow and it says don't forget. I stamped that on a scrap of this same paper so it matches perfectly, but it lays over that busy pattern so you can see it. So that's my little, this is more like personal goals. And this is another way to use some of those extra pages that you don't think you're going to use. So what I did is I took, let's see, not that one, but I had a couple of extra pages. So there's this one, and what did I have on the back? Well, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, what you can do is, so if you have two pages that you're going to stick together that you're not really using, what you may end up having, let me get one that does it the right way. What you may end up having happen is that the holes get funny. So you have holes show up on one side and not the other. So actually, I'm going to do this like this. So what you end up with is you have these holes showing here, and you want to punch this side. So what I did is I just went ahead and repunched these. I adhered these together back to back, and then I just ran a strip of washi tape just to cover up the holes so you didn't see them. You could even cut that off and just have a little bit of a narrower page, which would work fine too. But I just thought the washi tape was pretty, so I just ran that down the side, repunched these holes, and now I've reused some of those pages. And you know, because sometimes you feel guilty, you have all of these beautiful pages and you're not using them all. So that's another way to use those back sides of some of those pages. So that's what I did with those. And then I added some of the cute little ring reinforcers on that one of the tab stickers, and on the on one of our other sticker sheets, there's this cute little goals sticker. So there's a cute little goals sticker that's right there on that one. I used that there, and then the little arrow. And then those were just some alpha stickers that I had laying around. And then I'll show you a couple more of my dashboards. more of that beautiful paper, and then some more of that paper. And then I have the last one here. And this is a neat little thing I found at Anthropology. It's a clip, it's a really heavy duty clip, but it's another pen loop. So if you need to have one more pen loop, that works, and that would work in a Dory booklet as well. So that is my setup and a few of the things that I did for this month. And then I wanted to show you some of the clips. So I created we had sold these paper bows as an add-on. And so you can see where I turned a couple of those into clips. And all I did was use one of the heart puffy stickers and glue that between the clip and the bow. So those turned out really cute. So there's some of those. And then of course our puffy clip toppers have those. There's a mushroom one there as well. And we had a build your own charm kit, and so I turned all 3 of mine into clips, and I just put glittery cardstock on the back with some strong adhesive. A couple of the die cuts I turned into clips. So there's a little mushroom, and then there's a little clip and a larger clip, and then on the back of each of them, what I did is I just used one of the leaf die cuts. So I used die cuts on the front and the back. So I think those turned out cute too. And then, as I mentioned, the little bulldog clips, I did those. And one of the things, sometimes, so even from the pattern paper, this little fox, he's so stinking cute. I wanted to make a clip out of him as well. So one of the things that you can struggle with sometimes is you have to cover up the back. But how do you cut that exactly the same? How do you line it up exactly the same? So what I do is I'll take just a teeny bit of adhesive, so not much, just enough just to kind of hold it together. So I'll put what I want on the front and what I want on the back, just a little bit of adhesive, and then actually cut them out at the same time. So now you know it will line up perfectly. You can pull them apart, and once you've got it cut out, put your paper clip in there with a little bit of stronger adhesive, and he's all set. So that's just kind of a fun little tip, is to just adhere them together just enough to hold them together, and then cut them, the front and the back, out at the same time. And then something else I wanted to mention is this was the sticky note pad that came with the kit this month. But dig in your stash, because a lot of times you will find sticky note pads that work with the colors. This was the cute little coffee mug sticky note pad from last November, and that works really cute with it. And then this is the banner sticky note pad that was with our August kit, and that looks adorable as well. And the fun thing about the banner ones is that they actually have a little bit of a curve to try and show movement. So when you put them down, they line up with that cute little curve. So always dig in your stash if you've got some left over that you haven't used, because they might go really well. And this is a cute little. My sister-in-law, who gets a kit every month, showed me the most adorable thing. She had taken a clipboard we had sold with our, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, we had done a Valentine planner kit add-on, and it had a pink clipboard. And she showed me how she had used that as a little note-taking station. So what she had done is she had used that clipboard with a notepad, and then had just kind of decorated it. And I thought, what a great idea. So I went onto Amazon and I found this clipboard, and this is a Tim Holtz clipboard, and what I like about this is it's made to be altered. So it's real easy to take the clip mechanism comes right off real easily. Then you can cover this with whatever pattern paper you wanted. You could even cover that with one of your extra sheets from the inserts. You wouldn't even have to have extra pattern paper. You could cover it with one of those, really cute. and then you just punch through the hole and screw this back on. And then I added, okay, back again, sorry about that. We had as per usual, my dog Blue has to start barking at something, or I can hear her about to start barking at something. So I stopped, and then I also kind of fixed this. We had this weird little sunshine thing going on here, so I'm sorry about that. I fixed that as well. So we were talking about the cute little clipboard, and I put and just kind of how to decorate it, put the little bow on top. There's so much you could add to this. I mean, you could kind of go crazy with washi tape and stickers, and you could do a lot with this. This could be, and you could kind of, if you wanted to use temporary adhesive, you could always change it out every month. It would be really fun. But so my sister-in-law, June, what she did is she used a notepad. This is the notepad from last November that I thought went cute. So you could totally have a little notepad on there. The other thing that you could do is, again, trying to use pages in different ways. You could take some of your, if you do meal planning, you could take your extra striped pages and you could put those on there for your meal plan and just hang that up. If you have kind of like notes that have to go to school with the kids, or you can even use the back of these. Look at how cute that is for note taking. So remember to think outside the box with those pages. There's so many different uses than just in your planner and what the original intent was. There's so many other things that you can do with that pretty artwork. So that is a real fun. Could be grocery list, could be a chore list. And the neat thing about these, of course, is you can hang them up with a little hook somewhere. So that's a fun thing to do with the little clipboard. And I found that on Amazon. And then the other thing, back in May, I went on, let me move this out of the way. I went to California with Jeffrey, and they have in, I don't remember what town we were at, but there was a paper source. And they have all of this beautiful handmade paper. And so I bought a couple rolls of it. I thought this one was so pretty with the gold and the silver, and then that one. And then I know kind of a year in advance almost of what our designs are gonna be. And I knew we were gonna be doing the mushrooms coming up for October. And so when I saw this, I was like super excited. It's this beautiful handmade paper. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you how I'm going to cover one of the Dory booklets with this paper. I mean, it's so perfect. It's so pretty. So what I did is I actually just took the Dory booklet. Here's the smaller one, so I can show you my smaller one. I just ran adhesive over the whole thing and then stuck it down. And then rather than trying to line up everything perfectly, I just kind of stuck it down as best as I could. And then I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and just run it right along the edge on all of the pages. And I'm not going to do the whole thing because I don't have my cheater glasses on right now and I don't want to mess up. So I'm just going to show you kind of what I would do on the ones that I can see from far away. So I'm just going to run my knife. Oh, look at that. I can do it without my cheaters. Not bad. Kind of sucks getting old. And then I'll finish off the top later. But so that's, and I don't want to kind of cut off anything that I'm not going to use because it's such a beautiful piece of paper. So I just laid it right on there like that, and then I'll go through, and I may even try to, I kind of like this edge like this. It's just kind of tapering off like that. That's really pretty, showing that it's handmade. So I may even just try to narrow that down just by picking at it a little bit. But how pretty is that? So, and then I'll probably put a little label or some sort of little title or something there on the front of that. I think that'll be really, really pretty. So if you are ever at a store that has handmade paper, pick up a couple sheets that you love, because how fun is that to cover a dory with? And I'll probably cover all 3 of mine to match. I think that's so pretty. So that is about it for this month. And oh wait, no, that's not it. I wanted to show you real quick what I did with a couple of the charms. This one, so I had this tassel, and I need to look up, and I'll put it in the comments below, but I bought this tassel from an Etsy shop, and I kind of took it apart. There was some extra pieces that I took off it. I wanted it just a little bit more simple, but it's so pretty. And then Mary Kay made these beautiful charms this month. This one is the smaller one with the little dragonfly. Get that in focus there. And so what I did is I clipped him right onto the tassel, and I thought that was really pretty. So that just added a little something to that one. And then this bag was just it did not have the rose on it. It was just the polka dot bag. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I glued the fabric rosette, which I got at either Hobby Lobby or Michael's, I don't remember, but I glued that on. And then this was a charm that I had made last year with the little owl, and I put him on there. So that, everything got a charm this month. And then this bag, which I think is so cute, it's a fox, and I got this bag from Charming Charlie I think in the spring. And it came with the little tassel, but then I found this cute little fox head charm. I don't know if you can see him, if I can get that in focus. I thought he was cute, so I added him to that as well. So those are the bags that I have for this month, and I kind of charmed everything up. I went a little crazy with all of my my clips and stuff. You can see them all in there, but there was just so many cute options out there, and so many cute things that I couldn't stop myself. So, but thank you again for joining me. I appreciate this so much. I love doing these videos, and I love sharing ideas. If there's anything in particular that you are stuck on, that you're like, I wish you'd come up with some ideas for this or that, please leave it in the comments, because that really helps me going forward when I do my next video, because I never want to feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over. I have my personal setup, so there's always going to be a bit of redundancy, but I always like to try and come up with a few things each month that are a little different, kind of give you some ideas on how to use the product. But if there's anything that you're stuck on, please let me know, and I'll get my creative brain, crunching away and see what I can do. So thank you all very much, and I will see you next month.